everybody. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Two of the most prolific offenses in the NFL will be on display in today's game. Both teams rank in the top 10 in total yards. The Chargers are top 10 in total yards, and they go up against the Cowboys, who will have to try and slow them down. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
America's finest city on about as fine a Sunday afternoon as you're ever going to see. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Diego Chargers. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. One man in the backfield is Gordon. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. This is Gordon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The starting lineup for the Chargers of San Diego. Who are we discussing out of this unit, Charles?
A big guy out of Arkansas. Their tight end, a 2nd-round pick, Hunter Henry. Many people had a 1st-round grade on him. Plays the best tight end coming out of the draft. Has the ability to get down the middle of the field, get into the seams, and knows how to find dead space against the defense and create plays.
That one goes for 24 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going. So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now Hundley. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line, and they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. And now the defense for Dallas.
Randy Gregory entered the league with people excited about his pass rushing skills. they continue to stay excited about his potential.
So a 3rd and 8.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Here we go. Flex round.
Throwing, Hundley. Aguilar has it. And he's brought down after a good gain. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And now a first down following that long gain. One man in the backfield is Gordon. And they'll give it to him here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Second down following the run. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And it's 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Flex round. Here we go.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Let's go.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Come on, let's go!
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have or a pass he should have caught.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Third down now following the run.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded. In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
One man in the backfield is Gordon. Trying to shake off the interception. Got his man complete. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A big play there for San Diego. 56 yards. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Gordon on first down. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. they often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And an alley to run. There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. Melvin Gordon, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. Now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. He juked him. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top again. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Taking it about the 36. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Throwing, Hundley. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Let's go!
Now Hundley. It's brought in by Janis. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there, and now it's fourth down.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And brought down there by a pair of Chargers on the stop. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
This will be caught at the 2. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Let's go.
First and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He was looking for his tight end, James Hanna, and it's 3rd down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Now Elliott, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And quickly, they get to the line. Now Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Surveying the field. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Throwing, Hundley. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
He's going to look deep down the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And tough starting field position here. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive. Now, that's not a call you see every day. A toss play inside their own 10-yard line. Takes a little bit of brass right there, and they were able to get a little bit of yardage. I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. So a collective holding a breath here as the starter heads for the sideline. And they'll hand things over to their backup quarterback and task him with preserving this lead. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. 3rd and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinking blitz here. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Here's Josh Lambo now for the Charger field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
Dallas gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They keep on the ground with Elliott. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 14 there, and that leads to a Dallas 1st down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Stewart on 1st down, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go play action here on 1st down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Hey, you got 3.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for San Diego.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And now here come the Cowboys. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but forget the back.
I like that even better.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll step away and come back to San Diego after this.
Let's go!
Here's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Come on, let's go!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll look to throw again. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now Prescott. Hard throw, incomplete. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to... Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player. And thus far in this NFL season, no touchdown scored for him, and he's not going to get it on that play either.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now Manuel. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
A lot of teams love to throw screen passes. They want to tire out defenses because they make them run a lot. But there are a lot of moving parts on a play for an offense when they call that one. Because you got the linemen that have to move. You have the wide receivers have to get out and vacate. You get the running back that's got to make a little fake and then get out into the route. And, of course, the quarterback, he's got to hold in there and know he's probably going to take a big hit before he lofts the screen off to the back. Why didn't he catch it? That's all he needed to do for them to be successful.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And they're going to speed things up here.
Let's go.
He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Back to throw. He's got time. He's going to let it fly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I'm sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field. 2nd down following the incompletion. And the slot man goes in motion left. He'll look to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Well, certainly a tough loss here, but they've got to move on. I mean, you have another opponent next week. You dwell on this one, it hurts you the following week.
That's where the 24-hour rule comes into play, win or lose for all teams. Either enjoy the win for 24 or reflect on the loss for 24, then put it aside and move forward.
So for San Diego, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Chargers are winners here as we say so long from Southern California.